How are we doing, Billas? Welcome back to another Shroomy TV video. And for me, my stances were well and truly in a bear market, and I am waiting for a 4-year low to come later this year around October time. So between now and October, so we've got another 7 months roughly until the bear market lows should be in if we repeat the previous three cycles, which in 2015 we got this low. We then get the 2019 low, we get the 2022 low, so 2022 low, 2018 low, end of 2018 into 2019, and again the end of 2014 and 2015. So these four lows, 2014, 2018, 2022, 4 years on, would be October of 2026. As we can see, it's the end of 2014 into early 2015 again, end of 2018 into early 2019, and again the end of 2022 into early 2023. And this time I don't think will be any different the way Bitcoin's going, and that would mean we get a low the end of this year and would stay in that bear market going into 2027, and then would come out of that 2027 low. As you can see, from the 2013 high to low, when we break out this trend line and start going up, from the 2017 high to low when we break this trend line and start going up, same in 2021 till the bear market low, and we break out this trend line, the blue trend line we can see in all of these. I've drawn another trend line here, which once we get the low I would expect to break and start rallying up. As we can see, this one here, this massive 4-year cycle high to the 4-year cycle low, correction pattern before breaking up. 4-year cycle high to low, correction pattern, go up. Same in here, 4-year cycle high to low, correction pattern, up. And every time these have produced massive returns. 83x on that one, 16x on that one, and this one was about 500%, sorry, 800%. And that's once we break the trend line. If you were to actually go from the timing wise of the 4-year cycle low, you could be getting that is a ridiculous gain from the lows, massive gains, much bigger if you actually catch the actual lows. But for me, I'll just be looking to DCA around the time. I'm not looking to catch the exact bottom. I'm just looking to get in around these areas. Now, additionally, I've been going on about how when we get the lows of the bear market to the highs, we tend to become under the 0.786 fib. As you can see, we accumulated in here and we came in once more. And again, from these cycle lows to the high, you can see we accumulated in October 2022 below the 0.786 fib, around 15,000, which is why I reckon we could see something similar, which would take us just under 40,000 for Bitcoin if that was the case. So again, if we were to see, and again you can see the same happened from the 2011 lows to the highs in 2013, we get just below the 0.786 fib. So for me, the plan's simple. I'm just being patient. I don't like being a bear. I'm usually the most bullish guy ever, and I will be bullish when the time's right, and that is in here. I'm looking to get in this area anywhere below 58,000. I'll be looking to start DCing in. And right now, people are getting excited because Bitcoin's went up to 70k again. But for me, I've mentioned on this channel before, we have a CME gap at 80k, which we could potentially reach before coming down again into the 4-year cycle lows. It's all about timing for me. So yeah, this is how I see it playing out at the minute. This correction pattern, 4-year high to low, 4-year high to low, 4-year high to low. I'm expecting something similar in here. And yeah, just simply the 4-year cycle remains king, even though I was hopeful of a 5-year cycle, with the PMI being in contraction for the whole of the last cycle, QT for the whole last cycle, no money printing. compared to the cycle prior from 2019. We got QE, they started printing money, and that's when altcoins done well, but we didn't get that this cycle. So the cycle, not this cycle we've just witnessed, but the cycle before was money printing, QE, loads of money printing, whereas the cycle just has been QT, not much money printing. So hopefully the next cycle is going to be similar from the 2019 lows into the highs in 2021. That is what I'm hopeful of, and I'm going to be looking to take advantage, looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana at the lows, crypto stocks, and I'll be covering it on this channel. This is the chart I was just showing you, but another chart I've been using mainly, this is mainly my theory. Basically the 4-year cycle highs 2013, 2017, 2021, 2025, and then the 4-year cycle lows 2015, 2018, 19, 2022, 2023, and I'd expect 2026 this year to 2027 would get the same. Again, you can see the fibs from the highs of the lows below the 0.786 fib, which we can see just below the 0.786 fib in this area. In that cycle, again, below the 0.786 in this area, below the 0.786 in this area. Again, if we were to see that, it would be below 39k in this area. If history was to repeat like the 3 cycles prior, there is no guarantee of that. And roughly these bear markets are a year long, 52 weeks. And as I keep saying, I think we're in denial before capitulation, which is why I got out of the market and had to just accept a loss on some of my positions, because as I said previously, if Bitcoin was to go down another 30, 40, 50%, then altcoins are going to get slammed. So I don't want to take that risk, especially with what we've seen the last 3 cycles. The most likely outcome, in my opinion, is a low into the end of this year with a 52-week bear market. And that ties up with Bitcoin's price after the halving. And then after the halving into lows, it would tie up with another 200 to 300 days left basically before a bottom, which ties in with this 52-week bear market idea and the 4-year cycle lows, which have repeated for the last 3 cycles. So yeah, because Bitcoin's such a new asset and there's not 100 odd years of data, we just need to go off what we have, and the last 3 cycles have repeated the same way. So I think that is why that is my case on this channel, that I think we're going to get lows into roughly October of this year. They could come earlier, they could come later, but it's waiting for this blue downtrend to be broken, the same as we've seen from the 2013 highs to lows, breakout, same from the 2017 highs to lows, breakout, same from 2021 highs to lows, breakout. Again, it's just been patient for me, preserving capital, stacking capital, and getting ready to get into positions and take advantage of the 4-year lows that arise later this year, hopefully. Now, there's no guarantees of any of this. This is just my stance on the market. I could be completely wrong, and feel free to give me your thoughts in the comments. But right now in crypto, it's boring. Loads of people have left the space, and I've not been uploading this regularly. I hate being bearish. I prefer to be bullish, but I simply can't be bullish right now when I'm bearish. I'm risk off at the minute. So that is where I am. That's my 2 Bitcoin charts. And why I'm covering Bitcoin so much is Bitcoin's what leads the crypto market. If Bitcoin goes down, altcoins are going down. Simple. So yeah, that is where I am at the minute. And what's even more nuts is how the 2022 bear market is lining up to the bear market I believe we're in right now. You can see the fractal is falling to an absolute T. And I've just taken that from the 2021 top to the low and breaking out of the bear market low, which I can show you that as well, which is just, so yeah, if I remove this one for talking's sake and we line it up, you can see it's literally a carbon copy so far. Doesn't mean it's not going to change. It could absolutely deviate from this. It's not guaranteed. But that is what we're seeing so far. A repetition of the last 4-year cycle high into the last 4-year cycle bear market so far. So we'll continue to monitor that on this channel as well. As I said, if you're new here and enjoying the content, please smash that like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and I'll just keep making more videos on the market, giving my thoughts on the market. Doesn't mean they're going to be right. It's just me documenting my thoughts on the market, giving me somewhere to elaborate on my thoughts, because as with everyone else in crypto and trading in general, you'll know that your mates, your family you don't really talk to them about this kind of stuff. They're not interested, so it's just somewhere for me to vent, get feedback, get other people's opinions, and yeah, again, with this, we can see we came down with this bear flag and went down again, and that's that kind of bear flag in there at the minute. All stemming from the October top on Bitcoin. And again, I'm expecting us to get below the 0.786 to 40k level, as we've seen in the previous cycles, getting below, as I highlighted in the last 3 cycles. So all eyes on Bitcoin for me, and when Bitcoin gets down even below the 50k range, I'm going to be looking to start getting into positions. I'm not looking to catch the absolute peak or bottom. I'm just looking to get in at cheaper prices. Simple. It's not rocket science at the end of the day. So, but yeah, as we can see, the first cycle correction down 84%, second cycle 83%, third cycle 76%. This cycle so far only down 50%. So a long way to go if we were to repeat, obviously. If we get to somewhere in the region, I think it could be about a 73% move down. So it could be a long way down yet to go. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on Bitcoin at the minute. I think if we were to get a rally, which bulls are going to start saying, oh, this is bull run back on and blah, 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 blah. The reason I would suggest we'd maybe go up to 80k is because we've got this magnet of liquidity, this CME gap, which is open all the way up to about 81.5k to completely close the gap, which CME gaps typically get filled. As you can see, all these purple boxes are just CME gaps, which tend, if they get left open from April, they come back and get filled in November. All the other ones get filled fairly shortly afterwards, and this one's been open from the start of February basically. So could we go up and close that here? Could we rally up here the start of March before continuing into obviously the 4-year lows that I'm expecting later this year, as I've talked about on the 3 previous charts for Bitcoin? The CME gap would be like my best possibility for a relief rally, in my opinion, before inevitably we get the lows later this year. So let me know your thoughts on the market. I'm completely risk off and waiting for optimum entries into the market. And albeit I'm the biggest crypto bull, like for me it's more like, think about where we're going to be in 4 years. Well, not 4 years. Think about where we're going to be 3-4 years from now, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. The crypto market is sitting under, well, the altcoin market's sitting under a couple trillion. Think if that could get to 100 trillion, that's a 50x on the whole market. So we're still early in crypto, in my opinion. Bitcoin's completely misunderstood. Think about Bitcoin 2013 all the way down here, $100 odd. Now we're getting institutions buying crypto, we're getting ETFs, where people can put their pension money, not in the UK, but in other countries. And yeah, it's just growing over time. I think we're early. And yeah, I think longer term, I'm extremely bullish on this market. I just think the 4-year lows, which I've pointed out, 2014, 2018, 2022, 2026 makes sense. With the limited data we have, I think that's the most sensible for me to be risk off anyway. Everyone's going to have their own strategies. But for me, the 4-year cycle highs repeating themselves, the 4-year cycle lows repeating themselves, it just makes sense for me to be risk off and out the market as we speak. So, yeah, I think my stance is fairly clear on the market. I was extremely bullish. I was hoping that ISM, the business cycle, could potentially finally end the 4-year thing, but the way Bitcoin lost this support from 2015 that we bounced off in 2022, 2023, we lost it. So for me, yeah, I think this massive rising wedge breaking down and lining up with the 4 previous cycles, I had to flip from bullish to bearish. So it is what it is. And yeah, with altcoins not doing well this cycle, it lines up with QT and not having money printing like we've seen obviously from 2019 into 2021. So it is what it is. We live and we learn, and we go again. But that's the thing, the majority of people in crypto have chucked it now. You can see with YouTube views, they've gone all the way down. The interest on crypto Twitter has gone down. And for me, this is where I gain the most. I stick around, I learn, I keep going, and I take advantage of the cheap prices that are presented in a bear market. But the bear market for me is where real wealth is created. Not people top blasting. There'll be people that top blasted 126k that will sell on the way down. There was people that top blasted in 2021 that would have sold on the way down and lost money. So yeah, that's just my 2 pence on the market. So if you've appreciated this video, smash the like button, and I will see you in the next one as always.